South Korea is no stranger to people living alone as
I'm just gonna say from now, from right now, you could not pay me enough money to lay on my bed with my thigh bone exposed to be part of B-roll for the news. I don't care if you blank out my face. This looks a little bit suspicious, to say the least.
36.1% or over 8.04 million households were comprised of just one member in 2024. Naturally, one would think that Koreans are so used to this kind of living arrangement that they are not interested in traditional family units, and for the most part, such views are valid.
I have a quick question though. So a lot of Koreans are living alone. Here's my thing though. This is my little tidbit, my opinion on the situation. A lot of Koreans who are living alone might be students, might not be students, depending if they're working or not, but their parents still support them. Their parents send money every month to maybe pay for something. If you're living alone and your parents are still supporting you, to me, you don't really live alone. I just wanted to throw that out there.
But recently, there has been a growing trend among young people who are turning to a so-called one-and-a-half household arrangement that outwardly seems to offer both independence and regular interaction with family and close friends. Typical examples of this include co-living spaces and house sharing, where private rooms are kept separate while kitchens and other living areas are shared.
I love how Korea has found out about the culture of roommates in 2026. Korea has just found out what roommates are. Because basically what they're explaining, a 1.5 living household, is roommates. Now, I like this personally. I like that they are just finding out what roommates are, because people back in North America, they complain about what they call like dog crate condos, those super small condos with like, what we will call in Korea here a one room or a studio. I love one rooms in Korea because the price for the one room, even though some people may find it expensive, it means that I can live alone. I don't have to share a bathroom with another woman. I don't have to share any co-living spaces. I can have my own domain and do whatever I want to do. It seems like Koreans are having roommates out of necessity for interaction. That's what this sounds like. It sounds like, you know what? I want my own space, but at the same time, I want to see other people, because if I don't do this, I'm not going to see anybody. Let's see.
Reflecting such developments, Seoul National University's Consumer Trend Analysis Center named one-and-a-half households as one of the 10 key terms in Trend Korea 2026. The trend reflects demand for selective connections, allowing people to keep their independence while sharing community spaces and certain activities to ease isolation and household chores. Living with pets or using an AI companion is also cited as a loose variation of the 1.5 household scheme, although for the time being, use of AI companions is not overly common.
So, a 1.5 household or living situation, they're also considering it as pets or AI companions. Korea, I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like Korea is living in the future sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it's way back. This is just extremely interesting. If you have a dog or an AI companion, you might be considered a 1.5 living household. I wonder if you get any tax benefits about that.
In addition, some 1.5 households are set up in a way that even partners such as live-in boyfriends and girlfriends follow strict separate routines while eating meals together only when time permits. In an interview with a
I know I'll keep on pausing the video, but there's just so much going on. So hold on. So you live with your partner. Are you just living with your partner to pay the rent? Like, you guys have your own separate. I'm all for having separate spaces. I'm all for it. But that situation looked like we're together, but we're just like, we're more roommates than in a relationship. That's what that situation looked like to me. I don't know. You let me know in the comments.
A local outlet, a woman in her 20s says she lives in the same building as her friend but on different floors. There's an understanding that both should respect each other's space but still can enjoy dinners together and even share side dishes about 2 to 3 times a week. She pointed out that she definitely is living alone and can do as she likes but does not feel cut off from companionship. The office worker added that living together can feel stressful even with someone very close, while having no one she can engage with from time to time caused her uneasiness. Having someone nearby to meet when possible gave her emotional stability, and her friend felt the same way, the report said. Another person in her 30s said that after gaining independence from her parents upon securing a job in Seoul, she relished her time alone. However, because she wanted to be with people she loved, she visited her parents who lived in Yongin almost every weekend, slept in her room there, ate meals together before returning to her own home late Sunday.
That's one thing I will say about Koreans. And I know it's not only Korea, but Korea has a very strong family orientation culture. And this is not only common to this person. I hear about a lot of people who work in different cities, but every single weekend they come back to their hometown to visit their parents. And this is out of choice. Strictly out of choice.
Local sociologists said such trends are the natural result of weakening traditional paths that were centered on marriage and childbirth, and speculated that with the rise of the non-marriage population, hybrid forms of households have emerged. They added that as these types of households focus on preserving individuality while permitting some interaction and are in line with what young people prefer, there's a strong possibility that those opting for this kind of lifestyle may continue to grow going forward.
Here's my opinion about this. There's certain things in life that are just going to happen. Like, things are going to move forward, and that's the way it's going to be. And I understand that 1.5 living household, the roommate culture now is coming to Korea. It's 2026. It's 2026, and it's now coming to Korea, more being popularized. However, call me old-fashioned, I would prefer a traditional family household. I feel like this is happening because young people are still not choosing to follow a more traditional path of getting married and having kids. For whatever reason. Like, it's expensive, or men are this or women are that, we can't get along, whatever. I think this is just a result for living in Korea for well over a decade. I think this is a result of people choosing not to follow a traditional path of getting married and having kids. I think this is just a pathway of avoiding having kids. But I feel like in about 5 or 10 years, there's going to be a similar news recap like this showing regret of a lot of people, not just women, but also men, who wish they have followed the traditional path earlier in their life. This is just my opinion. Because it's already happening in North America. A lot of women and men are choosing to avoid the more traditional path and having regrets later down in life. But I would love to hear your opinion down below. Keep up to date with what's happening in Busan and in Seoul with the K360 newsletter. Also, the Busan Cheat Day Party happening May 30th. It's a very unique athletic party outdoors happening May 30th at the Bay 101. Click the links down below for more information. See you in the next video.